Hey guys, just want to welcome you to Society. I guess you're asking straight away, what is Society? What is it all about? Who are these crazy, amazing people who are dominating the city of San Diego? Well, actually, we have a vision that young adults, college students, young married couples, 18 to 13-year-olds, would gather from all around this city for one common purpose, and that common purpose is simply this. We want to let this city know that it is so loved by Jesus Christ. We believe that Jesus doesn't want to send a message of condemnation or judgment. You're not so judged, you're not so rejected or ostracized. No, you are so loved, and we want to be the ambassadors of that to this city. So we have a vision that we would see thousands of young adults gather in multiple locations, sometimes in one big massive location, and we're going to have the biggest party, not just a party that ends with regret and man, what did I do last night? No, a party that has purpose, a party that gives you a definition in your life, gives you a meaning bigger than just living for the weekend, and we believe that meaning is found in Jesus Christ. So we want to get to know you more. We want to invite you to be a part of one of the greatest things that is happening, a revolution. This is the So Love revolution that's moving throughout this city, and that the young adults would come together and we would start to be mobilized to do exactly that, to share the love of Jesus Christ. So we want to also encourage you two amazing things that happen in Society. Once a month we gather, we get together and we celebrate. We have just full on like church on steroids every single month, once a month on last Thursday night of every month. And not only that, we actually have connect groups happening. What are connect groups? They're simple. That is society within a society. That is many groups of people getting together, hanging out, going surfing, going to cafes, having lattes and laughs together, and really just enjoying life, but getting to know who they are in Jesus more, getting to know what their meaning is in this life, and knowing that, again, that we're going to send this message of grace and mercy of love to this city. We have a couple of stories that we want to share with you, so why don't you check this out. This is just a few stories of people who have been impacted by Jesus Christ.
Hi, my name is Rosanna, and this is my story. I grew up in the church, but God was really more of a fictional character to me than somebody I could actually have a relationship with. I liked the idea of him, but that's pretty much where it ended. Growing up as a competitive swimmer, training my body was pretty second nature to me, but when it came to my spiritual and emotional strength, it was like Hulk versus Gollum, no contest. As I went to college, my life really shifted towards what the world thought was successful, the title, the status, but not the substance. It is evident to me now just how much I neglected God as my energy shifted towards pursuing my swimming career at UCSD and my Olympic dreams. I felt like I was two totally different people. The one in the pool was confident and driven, and the one out of the pool was completely empty. I filled my life with alcohol and unhealthy relationships, pretty much anything to cover up the emptiness. I hid behind the identity of being a swimmer and had really lost sight of who God had created me to be. In January of 2008, my mom called me and told me my dad could no longer walk, and since then my dad has been paralyzed. My parents, who were usually my pillars of strength, were now the ones in need of my love and care. I didn't know how to love myself or really take care of myself, much less take care of my parents. Things finally started to shift for me when some good friends of mine invited me to church. I started to see an incredible future instead of a broken past. When I found C3, my idea of church radically shifted. It went from liking just the idea of God to Him actually being a reality. Now my whole world has been transformed. I'm walking in the path God has for me instead of the path I have for me. I know who I am because I know who my Creator is. If you take anything from my story, take this. Our God is big enough that no matter where you are, He can bring healing and peace that is full and complete. And the greatest thing about developing that relationship is ultimately you end up finding out who you are. I know who I am because I know who God is. My name is Rosanna, and this is my story.
My name is Simon, and this is my story. The biggest testimony that I have in my life is of a loving God that is full of mercy and grace, a God that took the old me and exchanged it for a new me. I was a completely different person before I met God. The biggest change that happened in me after meeting Him was a change of my heart. I grew up in a really good family with a dad who was a pastor. The problem was that our church was really religious, and it never showed me what a relationship with God was. It just told me all the things that I couldn't do. When I was 13, I started drinking, partying, running away from home. At 15, I got hooked up with the wrong crowd. Older guys that taught me how to do cocaine, sell cocaine, and steal whatever I had to steal to pay for my cocaine addiction. From cocaine, it turned into crystal meth and even more crime to pay for it all. My sister kept asking me to go to a church conference that was specifically designed for people that needed freedom. I made a decision to go, and I knew it was going to be my turning point. It was going to be just that change that I really wanted. When the day of the conference finally came, I decided to get high one last time before the conference. That was a bad decision. Me and my two friends went out to get some meth, and when we were over there, 3 guys pulled guns out on us and saying, "Give us your money, your drugs, and whatever else you have." Then one of them pistol whips my face and the back of my head, and another guy, he shoots my friend in the stomach twice. The third guy started yelling, and they all ran off. The guy who pistol whipped me, he left his gun behind, and when I looked at it, it was a fully loaded .38 caliber. I realized if he would have shot this thing, it would have blown my head off. So my friend nearly died, but he ended up getting to the hospital in time. And I ended up still going to the conference that night. So I went to this conference, and I remember walking in and feeling this presence that was so unreal. It was unlike anything I've ever felt before. I felt just this incredible love of God. To preach about the cross and the death of Jesus Christ, it rocked my world. I gave my life to Jesus that night. I can't even explain what happened or what it felt, but for the first time in a very long time, I just felt free. I realized that God was with me, even at that moment when I was far from Him. He was always there, waiting for me. I can't explain it or compare it to anything, but when I should have been dead, buried in the ground, I wasn't. Here I was, alive, full of life, protected, and so loved by my God. I know that now I'm in the perfect place, surrounded by the most incredible people, married to the most beautiful girl in the world. I know it was the grace and mercy of God that brought me here, nothing else but Him. God's grace was always there for me, but it never changed me until I allowed it to. My name is Simon, and this is my story.
Guys, that's people's lives who have been impacted. They're true stories, real stories. Again, we're people who want to be real with this city, knowing that we all have our issues, all have our problems, all have our struggles, but there's one beautiful thing that unites us. There's one beautiful thing that we've come to the conclusion of that unites us together as a community, as society, which is Jesus Christ is the answer. So we want to encourage you, don't just hear about the answer, get to know the answer. He is more than just a distant, far-off thought. It is a relationship you can have. That's what we're all about. We so look forward to getting to know you more, hanging out with you, and for you to be a part of this thing called society. We love you, and we'll see you soon.